and you don't feel like there's good answers, that's where we can work to correct the process, or um, develop one if there's one that doesn't exist.
All right, guys, so I am starting off with these torn edges from yesterday's layout. And I think this was from yesterday's layout. And I am going to go ahead and place them in the corners of this piece of paper, which has like this typography type print on it that I think is pretty cool. Now, I do have 3 photos, and these three photos all have signs on them that say do not touch. And I thought that that was pretty hilarious, that it said do not touch. So I figured that these things had to be documented. So I'm going to pull out some pattern paper to go ahead and document them. Now, I am using these vintage typewriters, and I know that this is a layout about the stuff at the train station, you guys, but I really think that it will work. You're not going to see a whole heck of a lot of it anyway. And then besides that, the colors are just going to work, right? Like it's just going to be that kind of thing that happens. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's less about the pattern and it's more about the color. And this has been a way that I have actually used butterflies in the past. I have used butterfly paper because I cut it down and just had the little bit of the outside showing for the photo mat. And what that does is it just gives you the color. It doesn't give you, holy Moses, this is a butterfly. Like, it's not screaming at you in that way. You know what I mean? I hope that that made sense, because I feel like I rambled for a hot second there about it. I am going to distress some edges, so that's going to camouflage as well. So I've got these 2 photos and the one over on the right-hand side that I kind of tossed over there. These 2 photos have been trimmed down, and the one on the right-hand side has not. Now, I'm pretty sure that I am going to switch this around. I feel like I moved the layout and ended up with the 2 photos on the right-hand side of the page instead of the left. I feel like that's what happened. It might not have, but maybe it was in my head too. I don't remember, you guys. So it's been a couple days since I've made this layout. And I am doing my voiceover for today, the day that this goes live. But I guess I'm just having a minute, right? Like, I'm having a moment of what it actually was. So I guess ultimately I decide to flip that paper over and differentiate this one photo from the other 2 photos. And I'm committing. I don't know what the heck is going on here, people. I could have sworn that I put it on the other side. It's okay. It's fine, right? Like, it's fine. So this must be where I switch it out. Yes, this is where I switch it out. Okay, because see that gray piece of paper right there? I am actually going to fussy cut out the decorative bits on there and tuck them underneath of my photograph, which is, again, something that I have done multiple times while doing these Snoqualmie photos. And the reason why I keep doing it is because it keeps working, right? Like, if it ever got to the point where it doesn't work, and it got to the point where it was like, why are you doing that? It doesn't look good. It doesn't match. Then I would be like, yeah, I need to stop this. But it keeps working, you guys. So that is why I keep doing it. Right? Like, and if you ever feel that way where you're doing something and you're like, I'm not exactly sure why I keep doing this, it's not really working for me, then stop doing it, right? Like, nobody says you have to commit to doing this forever. It's just working for right now, which might feel weird to say, but that's just, that's just the way it is sometimes. So as you can see, I've got that bad boy tucked underneath, and I am really happy the way it is. I'm not, like disappointed in myself at all, which, sometimes you can feel a little disappointed with yourself with something that you're scrapbooking. And even when I am just like, done is better than not. Like, done is better than perfect. Even though I have that kind of philosophy, there are still times where you are scrapbooking and you're kind of like, it doesn't feel very good, or this wasn't the best, or I know I could have done a better job, or something just feels weird about this. And that's fine. You're allowed to have those moments, right? Like, you're definitely allowed to have those moments. Don't let them define you, though. Don't let them get so much into your head that you can't create a layout and finish a layout, because then that just really stinks, right? Like that just makes it, oh goodness, oh, I don't know where that came from. That just makes it feel really, really bad. So I am looking at my stash here, and I'm trying to figure out what in the heck I'm going to do. And I'm thinking, you know what? I know I'm going to use something about grateful for visiting or something like that. But what I need to have happen is I need to make sure my decorations are all there, because, your girl loves her some decorations. And that might sound weird, but I'm not going to lie. I love the decorations, you guys. It's part of my favorite part is to do the decorations on these pages, right? And I know that some people say for them it's the photos, or other people will say no, it's the journaling, it's the story behind it. And for me, sometimes it's just playing with the pretty paper. And that's what gives me the joy, and that's kind of what happens. And again, that's just the way it is sometimes, which it's totally fine to be that way. You are totally fine to say, I like decorating the best. You can totally say that. And I will stand strong with you and be like, hells yeah, we like some decorating. You know what I mean? So now I've got grateful. I've got my pre-cut, just cut out stuff tucked underneath. And now I've also got to finish the title, finish the decorating, and just kind of move on and, be happy with my life, which sounds like a bunch of utter nonsense, right? But I am grateful that I finished the Snoqualmie photos during this month. That was a goal I had with these sketches, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's always good, right? Like when you accomplish a goal, it feels good. So there is that. Now I am going to bring in, ouch. I'm going to bring in these jelly bean soup letter stickers that I have used multiple times throughout doing the Snoqualmie photos. And I am definitely enjoying them, right? And using them, so that's good. And then I'm going to use these little tile letter stickers that I have been using a whole heck of a lot as well. So I don't have any more ends, so I'm going to take a U and put that upside down to give me basically a lowercase n. And it's going to say grateful but do not touch, right? Because we were really grateful to look at the things, but the signs that said do not touch were everywhere. And that's, I think about this two ways. There are some things where I just want to touch. I'm a very tactile person, right? Like I like to touch the things. And then like I get that. And there's some of those things I just wanted to touch. But then I get it where you're like, keep your daggone hands off of that stuff, right? Like don't touch that. So sometimes I have an inner battle within myself, even as an adult, kind of an adult, I guess, where I just want to touch things. And I do when we're shopping in stores, I touch things. It's just what I do, right? And I know it irritates people I'm with sometimes, but they'll get over it, right? And if they don't, they'll die with it on their mind, and that's all there is to it. But I like to touch the things. But there's also things where I'm like, no, I'm not going to touch that whatsoever. Because I have a respect for it, right? Like there's a time and a place for touching the things. Now, if you invite me to your home and we're in your scrapbooking room, I'm going to touch all your stuff. Like that's just the way it is. I'm going to flip through your papers. I'm going to, rifle through your thickers. I'm going to touch all your ribbons. Like I'm going to touch your stuff if you invite me over. Even if we scrapbook together, sometimes I'll just go sit in your seat and touch your stuff. And that's just the way it is. I know that sounds really rude, but it does sound really rude, but I don't feel like it's rude. So if you have scrapbooked with me in the past and I've gone and touched your stuff, were you offended by that? Good Lord, now I'm having a conniption because I don't know if I've actually offended people. I mean, I'm like, come touch my stuff. Please touch my stuff. Right? Like touch my scrapbooking stuff. I want you to enjoy it as much as I do, kind of thing. But anyway, I'm going to start getting into my head about that. So I'm just going to stop talking about it. That is actually what I'm going to do. I went and found these green letter stickers that kind of match the the Jelly Bean Soup ones. It has that same kind of green to it. So I have, extended the title. Be grateful to see, but do not touch, right? Like that is the full and complete title. And then I told you guys I had these two little train cars that needed to go on a page because the first two cars of the train went on a different page. So I just decided if I kind of staggered these a little bit, they would be really cute up here at the start of the title. So I'm going to pop those down there. And then I'm pretty sure this is where I'm going to leave this layout. I don't think I add any splatters to this one. So that's going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble and kind of go into a crisis about if I offended people I've scrapbooked with in the past because I go touch their stuff. Yeah, the real question is am I going to change my behavior if somebody actually posts and says, you really offended me? That's the question. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another video.